Last year, on my 4th business anniversary, I announced that I was writing a book. 3 months ago, I realized that what I was doing was wrong. Here's what happened. Hello friends and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Alisa Barcan and I help qualified coaches build financially viable coaching businesses. I have accumulated so much knowledge and experience about this topic that I decided to write a book on it. I'll link the announcement video on the screen and below. Then halfway through writing it, I stopped. Why? I was writing the wrong book. And in this video, I'm going to tell you the entire story, how I got to that conclusion and what I'm doing about it. As soon as I announced the book, I started writing it. I had a plan, I allocated time for writing every day, and although I couldn't stick to that plan entirely, it was going well. I was making progress and I was happy about it. Then one night, as I was reading Robbie Samuels's book, Small Lists, Big Results, I realized that I was writing the wrong book. By the way, Robbie was a guest on my podcast and I also have a video where I share part of the discussion we had. I'll link it for you here and in the description box below. Long story short, as I was reading his book, I realized that I wasn't following my own advice of creating content with my audience in mind. I mean, I did, but I wasn't paying attention to all the things and all the signs that my community was sending my way about the kind of book they expected from me. Instead, I jumped straight into writing the book I wanted to write, and that was a mistake. Looking back now, I made a bunch of mistakes that led me to writing the wrong book. The first one was to jump straight into writing without taking enough time to think about the book's structure, the topic I wanted to address, and the message I wanted to send. Instead, I thought I'd just cram everything I know into this book and go with that. But too much information can be very overwhelming for a reader, and it wasn't very strategic on my part. The book, in its initial form, didn't really have a specific place in my business. Yes, it could serve as marketing material, but it was too broad. So ignoring my own advice, as I mentioned earlier, was another mistake, as well as letting my ego get in the way and not realizing that this wasn't about me. It was about the people reading the book and what they would get out of it. So in March 2022, I made the difficult decision to stop what I was doing and go back to the drawing board. It was a hard decision because it felt like all my work up until that point would go to waste. I had around 25,000 words written already, so I was about halfway through the book. Nevertheless, it had to be done for the sake of my audience and for my own sake, and I would make the same decision again today if I were in the same position. So I went back to the drawing board, and this time I properly sat down to reflect on what I should do next, the kind of book I should be writing, and how it would fit in with my business. The process took a few weeks of intense thinking and brainstorming, followed by letting go and allowing my intuition and inner wisdom to guide me. Finally, at the beginning of April, the idea and the title of the book came to me as a strike of inspiration. Now, I don't remember if I mentioned this to you in any of my previous videos, but I have the best ideas when I'm on the motorbike, and this was no exception. So if you ever get to read my book, which I hope you will, know that its title and the overall structure were arrived at while riding some of England's windy roads. If you're getting value from the video so far, I would appreciate it if you gave it a big thumbs up and consider subscribing. If you're inclined to leave a comment, that would make my day. It really helps to support the channel, and I thank you in advance if you do. Now that you know what happened and the hiccups I had so far, I am happy to report that I'm still writing my first book. The only difference is that it's now a different book than the one I had planned originally. And because I don't want to keep you guessing, I'm going to share with you the overall topic of the book. Are you ready? The book is going to be about the financial side of running a coaching business. I talk about financial viability all the time, and so it made sense that my book would reflect that. I also get a lot of questions from coaches about prices, and I'm pleased to let you know that I have dedicated an entire, very comprehensive chapter on coaching prices in the book, so stay tuned. More will be revealed in due time, including the title, the cover, and other surprises, but for now this is where we are. And all the work I had done for the initial book can still be used and repurposed either in this new book or in articles and other pieces of content, so it won't go to waste. But that was a lesson I learned the hard way. As for the release date, I'm a little bit behind schedule, as you could imagine, so I don't think the initial date of September 2022 is doable anymore. But I would rather release the right book later than release the wrong book on schedule. Again, I will let you know when I can predict a launch date with more accuracy. And that's the update on the book, with all its ups and downs so far. The important thing is that we're still on an upward slope, and I look forward to revealing more and give you another update shortly. Until then, thank you so much for watching. I'm Alisa, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.